Excited. Let's get Vaughn back in here so we can get this costume quest started.
Sounds good. All right. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bonnie. I will be doing Costume Quest. Like I said before, I will be doing the glitchless percent, which gives you more content, which is awesome. We like more content. Here we go. So yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. As I get started, Joe, if you would please do a final refresh, and this will be the cutoff for the character selection incentive. So, all right. Here we go.
Absolutely, Vonnie. I've got you covered. And it looks like the winner of the costume quest bid war is Girl.
Okay, very good. We'll explain that in a second, but first, we're going to watch this opening cutscene here. We can skip it, but we won't. It is Halloween night in this cute little suburban neighborhood, and we're going to focus in on this house here. Mom and Dad and two twin siblings have just moved into the neighborhood. Mom understands it's strange to be in a new town, but she wants these kids to take advantage of Halloween night to go out and make friends. Say hello to Reynold and Ren from left to right. These are our protagonists for the game. We'll be using the girl. That's going to be Ren on the right. They are really wanting to just go out and get candy, but Mom is like, well, if you're not going to make friends, remember, you're each other's friends, which leads to one of the funniest exchanges here in the game. Stick together or else you're grounded. But then it's this. No way I'm going trick-or-treating with my little brother. I'm the big one because I was born 10 ounces heavier. She says he's 10 ounces dumber. He says she's 10 pounds uglier. And we never find out what he's 10 tons of because Dad says no fighting. And when Dad says no fighting, there is no fighting. Trust me, I understand how this works. Okay, so here's where we do the selection here. It happened to already be pointing to Ren, which is convenient. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to select Ren. There's going to be a couple more dialogue boxes. The cutscene will fade to black. Once it fades to black, that is when the timer starts. So, are we ready? All right, cool. We're going to choose Ren. Ren's in charge. Reynold is incredulous. Ren says no talking slave, and timers start. All right, so we're going to go trick-or-treating at this house. And some things happen, but of course we skip all that because this is a speed run. And then we come to this house, and a whole lot more things happen. But before we can talk about that, we have a battle tutorial. All right, so there's a couple things that are important about battles here. And first of all, there are attacks. We want to get these critical attacks, but not in the tutorial because we don't need to. What we do want to do is block here, and that's by pressing one of the 4 buttons that comes up here. You see I'm kind of using the, playing this on Steam, but I'm using the Xbox style of buttons. So what I'm going to use now is my super attack, which for the robot costume is rockets. Bam. This is why we don't do the criticals, because with those rockets, 3 hits is always going to kill that enemy no matter what. Okay, now you see we don't have the costume anymore. Lots of stuff has happened. But first what we need to do is we need to get our costume back. And so we're going to do that by grabbing them out of these treasure chests. Now, we're going to be using several Halloween costumes throughout the game, and in order to use a costume, you need to assemble it first. Each costume consists of exactly 3 pieces, but in order to put them all together, you also need something called a pattern, and each costume has its own unique pattern that you need to collect. Now, we have all 3 parts of the robot costume, which means we will be the robot, and we get to use its outside of battle ability, which is rocket skates. Moving very fast, which for a speedrun is very useful. Oops, and what's also useful is going over this ramp. Okay. Now, we're going to put those rocket skates to use right away because we need to talk to this bully here named Travis. Travis kind of sucks, but he's chasing us on his skateboard. Good thing we have rocket skates, and we can outrun him easily and progress in the game. So Travis was picking on another kid named Everett. Everett is just a few seconds away from joining our party, and he's going to do so now. We get to check out his cool night costume. Okay, cool. Robot again. So now we actually get to get into the game itself, where we have to go to every home or kind of, place in this area and go trick-or-treating. Now, sometimes we will get candy. Other times, we engage in battle, which is what we're doing here. Each time that we go to a house is completely fixed what we're going to get. I know I'm either going to get candy or I'm going to, not only do I know if I'm going to get a battle, I know the formation of the battle, as in like what enemies and everything are going to be in it. So it makes getting through this a lot easier. So the way that supers work is every time you take 3 turns, your quote meter builds up, and then you get to use your super. Every costume has different supers. The one for the robot is very useful. The one for the knight is only useful in a couple of specific applications, which we'll talk about when we get to them. All right, so we go trick-or-treating now. These next few houses are all candy. Candy serves as your money in this game. We're going to be using our candy to buy something called battle stamps, and I'll be demonstrating that in a few minutes. Like I said before, in order to clear out this, level, if you will, we do need to go trick-or-treating at every single place that is available. All right, now this battle introduces a couple of noteworthy enemies. We've got healers and we've got mages. The healers are the one there in the white robes or hoods, and the mages are the ones here in the purple ones. We need to take out healers ASAP because they can heal and they can prolong battles, and we really, really, really don't want that. So we always make it a priority to take them out. All right, time for rockets. Now, so what rockets do is they do damage to all enemies, and you see it lights them on fire, and it does a little bit of like residual damage at the end. You see it resolve right there, where it does 8 damage in this case. That's going to get stronger as it goes along. Now, I'm going to go ahead and intentionally fail doing a crit there because he only had 3 HP. I don't want to wait for that slider to come up, so we don't mess with it. We got to talk to these kids real quick because they're throwing a party. But the theme of the party, it is very American patriotic. So in order to get into the party, your costume needs to be patriotic as well. Oops, no, that was the house I needed to go to. Got lost for a second there. This is a battle. So we need to get a patriotic costume. And that is our next leg of this quest here. So after this battle, you heard me talk about how each costume has unique abilities both inside and outside of battle. I'm going to demonstrate the knight's special ability outside of battle shortly here. Again, I just mashed through that. I didn't need to wait to see what button I needed to press for the crit because he only had 9 HP and a non-crit was enough. Speaking of the buttons that I need to press in order to do crits or blocks or things like that, it is completely random. There is no pattern to it. There is no manipulation for it. So a lot of this game is it's honestly a lot of concentration where you need to be always paying attention to what buttons you need to press at the right times. All right, we just leveled up there. I'll talk about how the leveling system works here in a minute. But this guy says, oh, you can't go in here because there's water coming down. Well, the knight has a shield, which it can hold overhead and block anything falling from above so that we can traverse areas safely. All right, so we're going to just collect a couple things here. We've collected some cardboard, and this guy is going to give us a feather duster, which looks kind of like a torch. I wonder if, based on that, we might be able to figure out what kind of Halloween costume we are assembling here. I wonder. I've got a couple battles coming up here. Not a I really need to talk about in a second. So Joe, if you have anything you'd like to share with all these beautiful folks listening to us, go ahead.
Absolutely. So I can't help but just laugh that we're getting into like Dora the Explorer territory, and it's like, which costume do you think this belongs to? We've got a $48 donation from Dante Wolf that says, "This is a secret dono to make sure JD has to play the games." Speaking of which, that is to the Cuso Grande Gauntlet, which is the incentive of all incentives here for Fastest First Fall Fest 2023, where you get to pick the top 2 individuals to participate in the gauntlet. Right now, that currently sits at Shockwave in first place, $225, We've got JD sitting now comfortably in second place with 180. So, if you want to save JD and prevent him from having to be a part of it, then make sure you get your donations in for Oasis, who's sitting in third place at $130, and Sarth and Rotim. If you really want to get them up, let's get some snipers in, get them from $10 up and above the threshold to be a part of it. Everyone participates because although only 2 are going to play in the gauntlet, the rest are going to be on comms. It's going to be a super fun, super enjoyable time, and it's right up after this run.
Oh yes, as someone who has participated in Cuso Grande and grudge matches and stuff like that, with Brosentius at the helm, puppeteering as he does with these sorts of things, it's going to be a very, very fun time. All right, so we're headed back to this party. We've assembled all 3 parts for the costume we need to get. Now this guy's going to give us the pattern, and it was for the Statue of Liberty. Very patriotic indeed. Okay, so we're going to go up to this guy. He's like, yeah, okay, you can come in. We're going to switch to the robot real quick. Then we're going to switch to the knight, because we need to pick up this cherry here. And the reason why I'm using the shield is because this tree is filled with squirrels, and they are throwing acorns at us, and they would otherwise repel us from being able to grab it. So we use the shield to protect us. So we can grab the cherry and give it to this lady here who needs a special ingredient for the bake sale pie that she would like to make. And this is what allows us to get into this next section here. So, So this actually, I'm going to take this opportunity here to talk a little bit about something I referenced before where it says that I am doing quote-unquote any percent. I'm actually doing, I'm going to be doing a glitchless percent run here. And the reason is that I want to give a big shout out to the Costume Quest speedrunning community. There's a bunch of really cool people, one of which I see in chat here, and that would be Penance Arcana, who is the world record holder in several categories of this game. And that is due in large part to the fact that there has been a lot of work that has been done on the speedrun for this game lately, where there have been all kinds of skips and out-of-bound clips and things like that that have been discovered that honestly shave probably about, like, I don't know, maybe about 20 or so minutes off of this run. They are some pretty significant skips. I will be doing none of those because A, I haven't learned them, and B, having the extra content, being able to see all the cute stuff in this game, it's just something I really enjoy. I did a run of this at Limit Break, RPG Limit Break earlier this year, where I did a contrived category that I like to call cute scene percent, where we intentionally watched about 15 minutes or so of the cutscenes in this game, because the cutscenes in this game rule. They're super funny, they're really cute, and this is just an incredibly enjoyable game to play. So if you are liking the aesthetics of what you see of this game so far, I highly encourage you to play this game casually, because it's not terribly long, it's pretty simple, and it's really funny. It's just a cool game. So one other thing that I like to talk about with this game as it comes to the speedrun is that for people that are looking into getting into speedrunning RPGs, or another one is for those for folks out there that maybe have young children that want to get into RPGs or even speedrunning them, this would be a great introduction, because the controls in this game are very simple. There's not a ton of menuing that you need to do. Not a ton of menuing that you need to do and whatnot. And it's just super cute and fun. So yeah, this game is just cool. All right, so we've gotten this whole section cleared out. Now it's time to go into the park to talk to my girl Sadie. Sadie is the one who sells battle stamps, and we're going to buy that one, and that one, and then we're going to go boop, boop, and we're out of here. All right, so what I bought was the stamp that I equipped to Ren. So stamps are essentially like boosts or power-ups that you can assign to specific characters. The one that I've assigned to Ren is what's called the Bloodshot Eyeball. That makes her critical hits stronger. The one that I've assigned to Everett is called Pumpkin Guts. Pumpkin Guts, and I'm going to demonstrate what those do here. Essentially, they do splash damage to every single enemy that isn't the one being directly targeted by the attack. This is going to be really useful for cleaning up battles and maximizing the amount of damage that we do to all enemies and just making things a lot faster. Alright, now you'll notice after this battle is over, there's going to be this cutscene here where we show that gate. So this gate is going to remain shut until all of the trick-or-treating in the area has been done. Now, you see this thing that we're skating past. These are going to be the first instances of like free-floating mobs as opposed to battles that you do by trick-or-treating. We don't need to do any of these, at least not these here. So we skip them. This talking scarecrow is a recurring character. Keep that one in mind. But what we've got going on right now is our first boss fight of the game. This is Bojan. He is... well, I haven't really explained any of the story. I realize that. I've been talking about so much other stuff. But, so let's talk about this battle because we're in it. What we need to do is we need to destroy that megaphone that he's holding ASAP because he uses it to summon enemies. And obviously the more enemies he summons, the longer this battle goes, and we don't want that. The fact that that healer that he summoned just used a shield on Bojan himself is great news because that is not something we're terribly concerned with right now. What we are concerned with is destroying that megaphone, which just got healed, but that's fine because we get to hit it with some rockets. And then we get to hit it with a sword. And... boom, it's gone. Alright. We don't have to deal with that anymore, which is good. Healer's going to heal himself. Alright. We need to take this healer out, like, yesterday, because all he's going to do is just make this battle longer than we want it to be. Oh, good. I killed it in 2 hits there. I was not expecting that, honestly. Alright, one more turn for the super, I believe. So, here we go. Once we get Bojan down to just fighting him, it's pretty straightforward. This battle will be over too. So anyway, so who is Bojan, you might be asking? Bojan is the foreman of this area that is directing all of these monsters that are in people's homes because these monsters are stealing candy for nefarious purposes. Now, Bojan answers to an evil sorceress named Dorsilla, who was the one that got rid of our robot costume in the beginning of the run. So what we've done here... Oops, we're going to switch. Here, there's some debris falling overhead. We got to use a shield to get past it. So what's happened is we have defeated Bojan, but he has taken all of the candy that he's stolen from that neighborhood away in his van. And so we hop on the bumper of the van and we see where it was going. And it's taken us to this mall here. Now here's where we're going to actually start to fight some of these free-floating mobs. And you might have known, I did it pretty quick, but when I went up to this monster, I went up to its back specifically, and I hit it with my candy pail. And that kind of like is a surprise attack on the enemy. And what that does is when you start the battle, all the enemies will take a little bit of damage right off the bat, which is nice because it can shorten these battles a little bit. Fortunately, there's no such, it doesn't work in reverse. There is no such thing as enemies doing back attacks on you or surprise attacks or anything like that. You'll notice we always start the battle going first. The turns are always just in order from top to bottom of our characters. Pretty straightforward. So our current mission here is we need to assemble a costume that we got a pattern from that security guard that we talked to up there, and it's for a Space Warrior costume. This Space Warrior costume is actually really, really useful. We're going to be using it through pretty much the rest of the game. So, yeah. Alright, here we have this medic. That is a healer. This guy needs to die ASAP. So we will target him until he does. You see that the 10 damage to all the other enemies, that's the pumpkin guts at work. Oh, we bought a third stamp that we're not using right now because we only have 2 characters and you can only wear 1 at a time. It's called the Fang of the Wolf, and it's just, that is just a passive attack boost. It just raises your attack power. Also, each of these costumes have their own passive buffs and actually debuffs where they can raise your attack power, your HP, or they can do the inverse where it can actually lower those values. The robot costume raises the attack power for the wearer, and the knight costume raises the HP for the one who's wearing. This is why we put that Bloodshot Eyeball on the robot, because we want to maximize its stronger hits to do the most damage that we can with single target attacks. Alright, we gotta talk to this guy. He's gonna give us the second part for the costume. We're gonna fight this mob here. And when we do, we're going to level up here. Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about how leveling up works. Experience is given to just a party in general as opposed to individual characters. So if one of your characters is dead at the end of a battle, doesn't matter. The experience just goes into just a general party pool, and everybody levels up at the same time. The characters don't have individual experience values, which is nice because we're going to have a third character joining us in a few minutes, and when she does, she will be at the same level as our characters are now. So everybody levels up together. No friendo left behind.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I see why you're saying that this is so approachable. There are so many awesome features of the game, but it's never really against the favor of the player, which makes it extremely approachable.
Yes, absolutely. That's well put. All right, so here is the third piece to the Space Warrior costume. All right, now, this Space Warrior costume actually has a pretty useful ability outside of battle, which is to use the glowing sword to cut through these dark areas, which is necessary because Everett here is terrified of the dark and refuses to go in these areas unless they're lit. So that's how that's going to work. I don't want to fight this mob, so I'm going to go right behind it. There. Okay, and now what I need to do is I need to switch you to that and you to that. We have to cut through here. Unfortunately, we can't sneak up on this guy because he's standing right there, and we have to use a Space Warrior costume to get to him because we have to use its ability. Now, the... oh, this is something else I didn't talk about. Many of the costumes have a unique style for how they do critical hits. The Space Warrior and the robot is the same, where it's a random button, and you have to press it at the right time when the notch gets in the slider there. But for the knight, it's just pressing the right button at the right time. Others you're going to see later on have different styles as well. And yeah. All right, now, here's a reason why we use the Space Warrior so much. The Space Warrior super is this meteor strike. This does a bunch of damage to its primary target, and this is going to help us wipe out enemies very quickly, especially in the late game. So we like the Space Warrior. We do not need to do a crit here, so we won't. Still got to cut through here. There's an enemy that's going to be walking towards us. All right, no initiative for us, but that's okay for this battle. The next battle, we're going to want to have initiative for sure, because it's honestly one of the more dangerous battles in the game to do correctly on the first try. And I'll explain why once we get to it. Fortunately, though, and this is another... You talk about the accessibility of this game. If you die in battle, you are put right back at the spot where you were when you started the battle. Like, you don't... It doesn't, like, revert to a save or put you at the beginning of the level or anything like that. It's basically just like, try again. So, again, you know, whoops, I don't know why I was mashing the button there. I mentioned before, for those that have young children that want to get them into playing RPGs, even speedrunning, combination of those things, this is a fantastic game for it, because if you game over, the punishment is honestly minimal. So, oops. Ah, no. Ooh, this is not... I don't know if I can win this battle now. I might... Yeah, I'm going to die here.
Well, the good news, like you just said, you'll be able to just get right back into it. So that's at least the good news.
Yep. Well, so cool. So that actually is a convenient little demonstration here. Defeated. And here we are. We're just right where we were.
Can I take a quick second just to remind everybody about something?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, great. So, just a warning to everybody. I know that it's noted in the chat, but I want to make sure that for everyone listening as well, that you hear it. Our cutoff point for the Kuso Grande Gauntlet incentive is at 1 hour, 10 minutes. So, essentially, you've got 47 and a half minutes, everybody, to get your donations in. So, you get to pick who is going to be a part of the Kuso Grande Gauntlet. Get those donos in, because again, JD's begging not to be a part of this. Sarith and Rotom are looking to get in the mix, and Shockwave is sitting comfortable. So if you want to switch that up, select that incentive, get your donations in, and let's get a great, awesome gauntlet running.
Indeed. All right, now we're in much better shape because we got to use both of our supers, so we should be good from here. Oh, I'm sorry, Meteor Avalanche is the name of this ability, not Meteor Strike. 6 HP. That was close. Okay. Oh, no, not a... Oh, my God. Am I going to... Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see here. Let's see how much damage this attack does. I blocked it. Oh, 6. Thank God. Okay. If I would have died on that one twice in a row, that would have been unfortunate. Oh, well. Okay. So, now, this next battle... Oh, good. I'm going to get initiative. All right. So, this battle formation is 1 healer and 2 mages. If I get bad RNG as far as what they decide to do with their buffs and targeting and whatnot, there's very often just nothing I can do about finishing this battle successfully. So... Yeah, okay, buff. Ooh, I don't like that. Please buff the healer. That would rule. No, you're going to attack instead. Awesome. Yeah, look at that damage. 59. Oh, plus another 10 for good measure. There's a really good chance that Ren does not survive this next round, and if that's the case, then oof.
It's just more time for people to donate towards the Kuso Grande Gauntlet, right?
Yes, indeed. Okay, so I did not survive that, but at least, yeah, nope. And here we go. There's no way, yeah, no way he survives this. Okay, and we get to do this again. That's what this battle can do, unfortunately, is just be really trolly. Like, not a whole lot to do about it. Yo, I see Harsh in chat there. Harsh is another very avid speedrunner of this game and a big member of the Costume Quest speedrunning community, so big shout outs to Harsh.
Do I have time to sneak in a donation?
You sure do.
All right, we've got a $30 donation from Mr. Shasta that says,
Yeah.
I agree with Brosentia. We all need to donate for Sarth. It is Snekvember after all. All right, this is looking a lot better here. Buff yourself. Yes. Okay, good. If he would have buffed the other guy and then he would have attacked, that would have one-shotted whichever one of my characters he would have targeted for sure. All right, yeah, all right, we're good here. Sweet. All right, and that's the last battle of this section, which I just refer to as Dark Maul. So here we are in the actual mall itself. Our very first order of business is going to be heading over here to the arcade, because video games. Actually, no, because we got to rescue these kids who are being forced to play all these games to get a bunch of tickets so that Bojan and his minions can get candy. So this is the second time we're going to fight Bojan. We will actually fight him again for the third and final time in just a few minutes. But you notice here that I am taking out the guardsman. Now, the guardsman doesn't heal or do anything like that, but in order to finish this battle, you need to kill all of the enemies in it, and because the guardsman does basically as much damage as Bojan and has less HP, he's just easier to kill, so we take care of him first. Alright, so it'll be time for supers here in just a second. We can focus these on Bojan because we need to start chipping away at his HP. And like I said, it does... there's splash damage for actually both of these supers, much more so for the robot than the Space Warrior.
So it will do some secondary damage to enemies that aren't primarily targeted, which is cool. This next attack should do it. And does. Okay, there we go. That takes care of them. All right. Big shout out to the carpet in the arcade, by the way. That just reminds me of all the stuff I remember from when I was a kid. The real reason why we do that, get that arcade cleared first, is not so much we can pick that up, but so we can pick up our third character. This is Lucy. She is going to join our party. Big shout outs to Lucy. We need to come here and we need to put that battle stamp on her and then that one on Everett. Okay. So Lucy now has, Lucy who is our knight, she is the one now with the pumpkin guts. And that Fang of the Wolf that I was talking about before, that is now on Everett. So now we have 3 party members, which is great because we can do 3 attacks. Attacks from enemies are now going to be more evenly distributed, which is going to make the likelihood that we die even less, and it's just awesome. So, yeah. Alright. Again, we'll just take out the secondary enemies, and then this round next round we will focus on Bojan. That's the wrong button. Please don't target the robot. Oh, I appreciate that. Alright. One thing that I usually talk about when I do runs of this game that I will mention now is, so because of the generation that I am from, I was raised on the Super Nintendo. Well, I was raised on consoles earlier than that, but one of my favorite consoles of all time is the Super Nintendo. And so for me, the colors and positions of the X, Y, A, and B buttons are a little different than they are on the Xbox controller. So every once in a while, my mind will go in a time warp to, 35 years ago, or 30 years ago, I guess. And I will incorrectly recall where the X, Y, A, and B buttons, quote-unquote, should be. Yo, Eris. What is up, friendo? Alright. So now we can take the mine car all throughout here. And we're going to do our first trick-or-treat. So the trick-or-treating that you do here is in the mall. They've kind of shut it down, and they were going to do a kind of trick-or-treat event for the kids tonight. But unfortunately, Dorsilla and her minions had other plans, which is why there are monsters in the mall. We skipped the security guard that I talked to in Dark Mall that gave me the pattern for the space robot. Oh, why did I do that? Whatever. Okay, we're just going to take 2 attacks here. That's fine. The security guard in the Dark Mall that gave me the pattern to the Space Warrior costume says that he was going to use his Space Warrior costume to go to the event, but he was terrified of what was going on in there. Now, of course, he's not referring to the monsters that are stealing candy. He's referring to all the teenagers that he saw in there. So, yeah, can't handle the teenagers. We can handle level up, and then we talk to these ninjas. And what these ninjas do is say, oh, you think you're a ninja? You think you're cool and tough like us? Why don't you prove your worth and bring us 3 monsters' horns? And so we're like, all right, bet. And that's what we're doing right now. We're going to do this trick-or-treat real quick because we didn't see that monster we needed. But there's going to be 3 free floating mobs. Say that 5 times fast. Around here that will have these purple and orange horns on their foreheads, and we need to defeat them. And then we steal their horns. So, yeah. That's right. Oh, wait.
Is this a good time for a donation?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
All right. I heard you say, what up, RS, earlier, and we have a $15 donation from RSTGD that says, have to donate for my man with the van. Vani, your humor, perseverance, and helpful commentary have taught me a lot about speedrunning and chasing your goals. Donation to Vani's Choice.
Thank you, Eris. You're awesome.
And then we've also got a $10 donation from Blaze that says, here's a $10 gift card to the Outback Snakehouse, of which I would say no rules, just Sarth, because Blaze says Team Sarth.
Nice. All right, so this is actually the quote-unquote second mob that gives us the horns. The one that I normally do first, I didn't see it walking there when I did the previous trick or treat, so we're gonna have to go back and get that. But I mean, doing these out of order doesn't. I mean, the order honestly makes no difference. So yeah. Okay, this hit won't kill, so we're gonna soften this guy up instead. Now we can throw rockets and meteors at this guy. Oh, good. 108 damage. The damage from that meteor strike is just going to snowball as we level up. It gets really, really powerful. There's the quote-unquote first one. Kind of had to, come back a bit to get him, but that's okay. Again, just like before, like I've talked about before, anytime you see one of these monsters here wearing the white robes, white hoods, and whatnot, that denotes that they are a healer, and they need to die as quickly as possible. Something else I didn't talk about when it comes to doing these battles. You probably see it pop up real quick in the upper right-hand corner every time I get to take a turn. But you can hold the trigger buttons, and you can run away. Running away from a battle is 100% guaranteed, even on the final boss. So, I probably, in that one battle where I knew I was doomed, I probably should have run away to save some time, because I knew I just wasn't going to be able to finish it. And you can run it at any time when it's your turn. So, that's another nice kind of accessibility thing too, is that, if you want to... good. Hello? Thank you. So if you want to save your skin in a tough situation, you can do so. Although it's not terribly necessary, really, at all, because, as I'm sure you've noticed, between each battles, you get full revive, full heal, so it's not like you need to preserve, running away so your characters don't die and you have to waste, revive items or anything like that. That's just not a thing in this game. So that definitely adds to its accessibility level. Alright. Just time for supers, and this one is done. And then we got a couple more things to clean up, and then we'll go and turn in these horns to the ninjas. And then we can move on with the level. Crit. Oh, well, I didn't do one, so there we go. Alright. There we go. Horn number 3. Gonna pop up here. We're gonna grab some yarn. This is going to be for a costume that is really, really important that we will use near the end of the game. So, yeah. But we got to assemble the costume here in this section to be used in the next section. Alright, so we talk to these guys, and they're like, holy crap, you actually brought us the horns. You guys are cool. Here's the pattern for the ninja costume. Alright, so for all of you ninja fans out there, I'm sorry. We barely use the ninja costume. We use it in one specific situation where we have to. We don't use it in battle, and honestly, it's on for about maybe like 3 seconds. So, I'll be sure to give you a heads up when that comes, so that you be sure not to miss that. This next section here is really just kind of trick-or-treats, battles, things like that. It's not a whole lot that's terribly noteworthy that's going on here. So, Joe, why don't you tell the folks about some stuff?
Absolutely. So November 13th to the 19th is Transgender Awareness Week, and November 20th marks the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance, and we are proud to be putting on this event as a kickoff to Transgender Awareness Week in the hope of raising awareness of the issues facing transgender and gender non-conforming people everywhere. So we just want to take a second to thank all of our participants, whether if they're runners, whether if they are in the staff, if they're helping in the background, and most importantly, we want to thank you, the viewers, for joining us this weekend. We really encourage you to support Trans Lifeline and their life-saving work.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, Vani, but I had a question for you. With candy being so important to this game, and with Halloween just passing us, I've got to ask, if this is the currency of the game, what's your favorite bill? What's your favorite candy?
My favorite candy overall, or my favorite, like, Halloween candy?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's go Halloween candy. It doesn't need to be Halloween themed. What you would expect to get if you're going door to door. What are you hoping for that's going in your bag?
Oh boy. I'm never mad about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Oh, good choice.
Snickers is one of my favorite candy bars of all time, so you gotta do that. I'm a big fan of Skittles. Oh boy. Let's see here. I have been known to crush like an entire bag of gummy bears in one sitting. So I love gummy bears. Oh boy, Twix are awesome.
So you're in camp, yes. As long as it's, and I'm joking this, but as long as it's not like candy corn, you're happy. You're good.
You know what? Okay, here we go. All right, now's where we get into the cancel Vonnie section. I like candy corn. I actually do like candy corn. Also, this is something that I think it was Blaze actually that was talking about this on Blue Sky the other day. My favorite flavor of Starburst is orange.
Ooh, that is brave.
I know that is a very
Yeah.
unpopular opinion. I know, yeah.
We're getting a lot of love for Zots. We do have some candy corn is excellent love in the chat as well. So Twitch chat, help me out here. What is your favorite Halloween candy? What are you hoping to see when you go trick-or-treating? I want to see some of that up in the chat. We've already got a great discussion rolling, but I'm pure team peanut butter cup. There is no doubt about that. If I get a Reese's, I'm dancing a little bit, and it's a good night.
Yeah. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I feel like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are some of the most universally beloved candies of all time.
Agreed, and I think your dog sounds like it has some very strong feelings about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups too.
No, my dog has some very strong feelings about the fact that there was probably a leaf that blew by our front porch, and therefore they must intimidate all potential invaders accordingly. Yes. That was one of the three of my fur beasts. Actually, well, one of five actually. I have two cats as well, but one of the three dogs that we have here. Now, you did make a reference in your introduction, which was fantastic, by the way, about being the handler for the goodest girl on all of Twitch. If she happens to perhaps stroll by here as I'm playing, and especially if it's at a good section, maybe even at the end of the run, we'll go ahead and have her come on here and say hi. She is quite the magnificent beast.
Always welcome to get a little bit of help, and in comms, and to get a little extra help is always welcome.
Yes. And I figure on a marathon called Fastest Furs, there would be no more appropriate place to have one that actually grows real deal fur on the event. Because Lena says trans rights. So,
I think chat's with you, obviously, on the statement of trans rights or human rights, but we've got some love saying, hey, let's show me the pupper. Where's the pupper? They need to see the pupper.
Well, you see that there is some emotes there from Eris, which were drawn in Lena's likeness. She is the official mascot of my stream. So, if you want to see the dog, the source material for that, then hopefully she'll come bounding by here.
And you'll have to let me indulge myself with one more question, if you would, which is, did she have a costume for Halloween?
Not this year. We have the one we dressed her up in. I can't remember if it was last year, or year before. We dressed her up as an AT-AT, like from Star Wars.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. Our newest dog, his name is Odin. We got him a shirt in the style of Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas, and that was his costume. It's actually the first time we've ever taken him out into a public place. We took him to a Halloween party at my sister-in-law's church, and he was great. Everybody came up to him, pet him, reminded him of how cute he is, and he was awesome. So yeah, shout outs to my dog who just walked by here actually.
Had to get an appearance in, just had to make itself known, right?
Yes. Where am I? Okay. So this little section here is kind of interesting. We got to break this and then drop down here, and then we stand on this treasure chest. Now, you're supposed to come out of the mouth of that pumpkin, but if you fall out of it, you can't walk right back in, so you'd have to go all the way back up and drop down again in order to get in there. So we got to be really careful about coming out of there. We're going to pop into here. We're going to see Sadie again. She's going to sell us this, and this, and this, and all we're going to do is just equip that, and then we're good. So we bought what's called the Jawbone of the Wolf, which we immediately equipped onto Everett, which is a stronger attack boost. Oh, here we go. Here's that mysterious Scarecrow again. And every time we talk to the Scarecrow, it gives us a costume piece for a mystery costume. And what I just talked to with that guy there is he is the MC for the costume contest that they're having here in the mall. And so we're going to enter that contest, but before we do, we want to see if we can have a little chat with the judges of this contest to see if maybe we can get an idea of what sort of costumes are what they're looking for, what they would find impressive, shall we say. So this is actually required part of doing this little mission here in order to, and the prize for it is a costume. I'm sorry, it's actually a costume pattern, but it will culminate in us actually getting and being able to use the costume. So yes, we want to win this contest. That was actually the last trick or treat. You can see there's a cutscene there with the gate. We need to talk to this judge here. Don't mind the spooky pinata that's right there. Oh my goodness. We talked to this judge over here, and we talked to this judge over here. And now that we've done that, all that we need to do is come up here, and we need to slap the Statue of Liberty costume on Everett, and now we can enter the contest. And everybody's talking about, oh my goodness, A+, y'all are awesome. And it culminates with us getting the unicorn costume. Unicorn costume is super rad. We will use it on the final bosses, but not now because it doesn't go fast. So keep that unicorn in mind for later. What we're going to do instead is we're going to hop in this car, and it's going to take us into this tunnel that's now open, or through the gates that's now open, excuse me. And it's going to come up here, and we are going to come face to face with our next boss. Well, we're going to come face to face with his minions first. What we need to do is we need to hit this guy 5 times with crits, and then that brings us to their boss. All right, so we're using the Statue of Liberty for the first time in combat. The Statue of Liberty's crit style is you basically just roll the L stick around in circles really fast. I think you need to do like 4 complete circles or something like that. And then that's how you do a crit. It doesn't involve a button press at all. Alright, so here's the boss here. This is Mexel. This guy can be kind of trolly, Okay, he's being nice to us at least to start out. Hit him with rockets. We're not gonna do Everett's super. We will use it in the right situation, and I will be sure to talk plenty about what it is that it does. Okay, so you see Lucy say, "Oh, I'm being he's gazing at me, and I'm very scared." So this is where finally the Knight's battle special is going to come into play, which is called something, Protective Shield or something like that. And what this will do is this will reduce the impact, greatly reduce the impact of the next attack directed at that character. Guardian Shield, thank you, that's it. All right. And here it is, going to use that bulldozer. All right. All right. You know what? I think just for the heck of it, we are going to use... No, actually, no, we're not. We're going to do a bit here. I should have done the super with Ren. That was dumb. Oh, crap. Okay. Now I definitely need to use... Everett's super now. Okay, now we're in the second phase. This is called Anthem. And what Anthem does is it gives the healing powers of America! And it heals your whole party.
Oh, that is precious. That is
yes. Yeah. Okay. So you see Ren there is now fretting about being about drawing Mextal's gaze, so we are going to use Guardian Shield on her. And now in Mextal's second phase, the super attack that he does with this, and he's going to do it right here, it's going to do damage to all of your party members, but the primary damage that it does, the damage it does to the primary target is pretty heavy. Also, in addition, if you don't block it, it skips that character's next turn. You're like stunned for a turn, essentially. So we don't like that. So we block that when we can. Have the super here? I don't. We're almost done with this battle. Mextal is actually nice to us this time, which is cool. Oh, one thing that's cool, you can see here on the Statue of Liberty's costume, they are holding the book that she normally is, but the date on there is... In fact, I'm going to do a normal attack here because we're going to kill him this round. Look at the Statue of Liberty's book that she's holding. It says October 31st. Which I think is great. Alright, and that's Mextal done. Alright, now we're in the third section of this game. A lot of stuff has happened. You see we're now dressed up as candy corns, and we're walking around. We don't have anything, but we're going to change that. So now they're in their street clothes. You see there's that treasure chest that just came up there. We'll deal with that in a second. One thing I want to talk about that we're going to do in this section here is a mini game. It's called Hidden Kids. In each section there, you can do the Hidden Kids game where you need to find 6 specific kids that are dressed up, find all 6 of them, and if you do, it upgrades your candy pail, which just basically gives every member of your party an attack buff. But they don't stack, so we only do the last one to maximize the effect. All right, so here's this fry cook. He's from the city. He wants to make it big as a fry salesman, but unfortunately he has no customers. So he wants us to help him out by dressing up as these fries, and we want to use the fries' ability outside of battle, which is this, to emanate this very alluring aroma of French fries. We're first going to use it right here on these bird soldiers that are guarding that treasure chest that has all of our costumes in it, and we're going to bring them in here and we're going to trap them in the barn, and yay, we get our costumes back, which means we get to go fast ASAP. We will eventually help the guy with getting his customers, and that's always going to be very funny, but we got stuff to do first. And part of that stuff is to come here and to talk to that's Hidden Kid number 2. And then, all right, so this section here, I do like 8 or 9, I think it's like 10 trick-or-treats in a row. Not a whole lot going on here. So Joe,
I gotcha.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, man.
You know I gotcha. So we have another donation from Eris TGD for $7 that says, okay, here's my 7,000 points for Puppy Cam. Trans rights. And this is a great time to remind everybody that we are nearing the end of your availability to donate towards the Kusa Grande Gauntlet. We are looking at 17 and a half minutes left for you to get your donations in. Current update on where that stands. Things are starting to tighten, and we'd love to get this really, really close. Shockwave is still in a commanding lead from the jump all the way through to now, still at $225. JD is in second place at $180. Oasis sits at $130. In Sarth, again, no rules, just Sarth, they are now at $50, making a run to try to get into that third place location. Reminder for everybody, the top two get to participate in the gauntlet, where they are going to be great participants in the Kurosage Gauntlet, and the others will be on comms to give commentary. It is a can't miss run coming right up, but like I said, time's running close, so get those donos in while you can.
Yeah, you know, speaking of timing and donations and whatnot, can we get to 7,500 before the end of this run? Is that a thing we can do, chat? I feel like it is. So go ahead and use that donate command in chat, and let's help raise money for Trans Lifeline. Very, very worthy cause. You know, anytime, and you know, when these marathons come up that the Fastest Furs do, I always appreciate and always make sure to submit to the marathons that they put on, because the causes for which they raise money are always fantastic. So big shout outs to the Fastest Furs for all the good things that they do for their communities.
Do we have time for another quick donation?
You still got at least a couple minutes here, man.
All right, awesome. So we have a $10 donation from Drake Lake that's being attributed to the Fight the True Final Boss. And Drake Lake says, while wearing the princess costume, "I want to eat some French fries!"
Oh, yeah. That's a little foreshadowing. Oh, yes. We will get to princesses indulging in fried potatoes in just a minute here. Oh, the guts did not take it out. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, not really dangerous, but just have to sit through that battle animation.
And while we still have a couple of minutes here, I'd just like to note that throughout our marathon, we are welcoming donations of all sizes in support of Trans Lifeline. You do not need to make a big donation to make a big impact. No donation is too small, no donation is too big. Just $25 connects one person in need to the Trans Lifeline peer support hotline. Even a $5 donation, when combined with 4 other people donating the same $5, can have a meaningful impact on someone's life. So please consider donating now by typing, as Vani said, !donate in the chat, and let your friends know how they can help as well.
Indeed. I know there's all kinds of great donation incentives for runs coming up too, so it's always fun to be able to apply your donation to something that you want to see, maybe a naming incentive, a character bid war, so on and so forth. So remember, you've always got you've got that sway over the marathon that you'll be watching this weekend with your generous donations.
And not to be or sounding a little self-serving on it, but when you do donate, you enter yourself in to win some amazing prizes that we have here. If you are able to do a cumulative donation of at least $50 throughout the marathon, again, it doesn't need to be one $50 donation. You can spread it out throughout the entirety of the marathon. You will enter yourself to win the Nintendo Switch OLED and the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom bundle, our grand prize for the event. There's also an awesome $10 minimum donation that enters you to win the Walking Dog Records complete music collection, some great logo coasters of the Fastest Fur logo, and those LED name badges that I cannot get enough of. Those are some awesome reasons to get it in, if not just to help Trans Lifeline. You enter yourself in to win some amazing prizes.
Indeed. All right. So I paused for a few seconds here because this is our favorite NPC in the game. This is the princess. Her name is Kelsey. And she really, really loves French fries. In fact, she loves them so much that she declares, "I'm going to eat French fries till I puke." One of my favorite lines in the entire game. She's super rad.
Same, I guess.
Yeah,
same.
yeah, right? We've all been there. All right, now this is Tasha. She's dressed as the devil, and she likes French fries just as much as Kelsey, but she's much more subdued about it. We get her back here, and she's just like, "Oh, rad, French fries." So, one thing that we kind of skipped over there was when I was luring the first kid, I made a pit stop to talk to Sadie one last time, and I bought one more battle stamp called the Rotten Egg, which is really important for a specific boss battle that's coming up here. But we wanted to make sure that we got that. All right, now, here we come face to face with a character named Dorian. Dorian is awesome. As you can see, he is just very marvelous. He's a queer icon, and we love Dorian. I'll explain what he's all about. This is just a battle I got to do here, so this is a good opportunity. So Dorian, we find out, is the brother of the evil Dorsilla. But we also find out that he is the one that has been kind of channeling himself through those pumpkin scarecrows that we've been seeing throughout the game. There's also a cutscene in the very beginning that we skipped over where it involves a black cat that kind of assists you with finding something. And we find out that Dorian was channeling himself through that cat as well. Now the cat will make another appearance, don't you worry. For those of you that are cute black cat fans, we will see it again. But yeah, so we're like, wait a minute. If you are the brother of Dorsilla, what's going on here? Why have you been helping us out? Why have you been doing all this stuff for us? And he's like, listen, I know my sister, she's horrible, she's evil, and I want her to be stopped. The only problem is that I am completely terrified of her, and I simply cannot bring myself to confront her. So, I'm going to help you kids do it instead. And so that's what's going on here. But even though Dorian is a bit of a coward in that regard, we still love him because he's truly fantastic. And you will see why at the end of the game. So, yeah. So we come to a few more of these tents here. We got a couple trick-or-treats. That one is candy, this one is candy, and then the next three that we do are battles. So, why am I stuck on? What am I stuck on? Okay, that was... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I gotta get this hidden kid right here. That's number 4. Okay. So... yeah. Coming up after these next 3 battles are going to be... Oh, God, that's a lot of damage. Coming up after these trick-or-treats here, it's going to be ninja time. But in true ninja fashion, it's very tough to see, mostly because it happens so fast. So, so go take your bathroom breaks or get your water filled up now, because if you want to see that ninja, your window of opportunity is very, very small. Alrighty. Joe, you've got a couple minutes here if you got anything you'd like to discuss with the viewing audience.
Absolutely. I am just baffled right now. We're having a major happening. It's happening right now, everybody. A $131 donation from Darth Sidious, who says, sorry, JD, but we all know that in rock, paper, scissors, snake beats pupper 100% of the time. That's put Sarth above JD in the Kurosage Grande gauntlet. I'm just baffled right now. Everything has changed. We've only got 10 minutes left before this is closed. Shockwave is $225, sitting in first place, and now second place has overcome. It's Sarth at $181, knocking JD off the platform. JD is now going to be in comms, which is exactly where he wants to be, and we don't want him there. We want JD to be uncomfortable being one of the victims in the gauntlet. We need to get some JD donations in so we could get him back on there. Oasis sits now in fourth place at $130, and Rotim is at $10. There's still chance for you to have a sway in the final outcome. Again, the top two move on, everyone else is in comms. What's going to happen? This is going to be a very tight 8 minutes, everybody.
Oh boy, we have some Kuso Grande drama here. Kuso Grande, excuse me. That's awesome. Very, very cool. I had Odin here with me. I was trying to get him to kind of just jump up so you could see him real quick, but apparently he had something else on his schedule because he has walked away. I'm sad. Doggo has forsaken me. Oh, 4-figure donos? Yeah, let's go. Would love to see those. What's the cutoff when the timer gets to an hour 10? Oh, okay, real quick. I'm sorry. Ninja time. We have to sneak past this guy, and now that we've done so, we're done. Okay, that's it for the ninja. So what happened there is that in the middle of town is this is a daredevil named Orzo, who is a human cannonball. And we want to use his cannon to launch ourselves on the top of the Ferris wheel where there are some children being accosted by these monsters. But Orzo says, "Oh no, you children can't use the cannon." And we're like, "Oh, you think so, huh?" So we use the ninja costume and their ability outside of battle, which is to sneak. The main use for that is to be able to sneak by mobs so that they don't grab you and drag you into battle if you don't want to. But we're able to avoid them easily enough anyway, so we don't use it for that. So the only time we ever use the ninja costume... Oh, super, that was stupid. The only time we actually use the ninja costume at all in the run is right there.
Bonnie, do I have a quick opportunity to give an update here on the Kuso Grande Gauntlet?
Yeah, do it.
All right, so we have a $5 donation from Kyotsu that says, I couldn't let JD escape that easy. $5 to JD puts him back into first place. And then if that wasn't enough, we got a $20 donation from Dante Wolf coming back and saying, no, I'm helping. Helping you are getting JD back into the second place spot. It's going back and forth between JD and Sarth. If you're team Pupper, it's JD. If you're team Snake, it's team Sarth. Everybody, if you gotta get your donations in, we've only got 5 minutes left until it closes. It is super tight. You have a chance to make this amazing. Pick who's gonna be in that gauntlet, everybody.
Oh, I do love me a good old bid war battle here. Keep it up, folks. We still got about like 20 or so minutes left in this game, so maybe longer if the final bosses decide to be mean. So yeah, like I said, let's get to 7,500 before I hit time. That'd be awesome. All right, one more trick-or-treat here, and then that's it for trick-or-treating in the rest of the run. You see, there's the gate cutscene. Got to switch to the Space Warrior here to cut through this darkness. Slide over here. Hidden Kid number 5 is right there. Back to the Space Warrior here to cut through this. Hello. Got to grab another costume piece here. Black cloth, very ominous. All right, now, we are going to intentionally fight this mob here because we want to use the experience that we get from it to allow us to level up at just the right time, right before we fight the final bosses here. And we choose this one because it only has 2 enemies in it, meaning that the battle definitely goes faster. So we like it.
Bonnie, I've got another quick update, if I may.
Go.
We've got a $5 donation for Rubicante that says, I told you, JD, you're not getting out of this if I have anything to say about it. Putting JD ahead even more, but wait, because we've got Sonic Mega, the next host, the Hype Master themselves, giving a $25 donation that says, sit boy, and is in for Sarth. Putting Sarth really, really close. Everybody, there is only a $4 difference between JD and Sarth. JD sits at $210. Sarth sits at $206. If we're sleeping on this, they might both take over Shockwave. So everybody, it's super close. Shockwave at 225, JD at 210, Sarth at 206. Get those donos in. We've only got 3 minutes left.
Very cool. All right, so we talked to the Scarecrow one last time. They give us that final piece of the pumpkin costume. We'll be using that later. That kid in the banana costume that was standing out wide open, that was hidden kid number 6. So we've got that done. And now we've got the last piece to the vampire costume, which is what we will be using for the final boss as well. Now we're going to come up here. We're going to talk to this Grubbin creature. And we've been finding these all game, and he's like, hey, can you help us? And we're like, no, you guys suck. He's like, well, dude, listen, here's the deal. Oh, I'm going in the wrong one. They're like, Dorsilla has been super mean to us, and we don't like her, so can you help us take her down? We're like, okay, fine. All right, I did not want to get into this battle, so here I'm going to demonstrate running away, which, like I said, is guaranteed. So really all this does is waste about, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 seconds. Which, if you're on PB pace, is really annoying, but for something like this, not a big deal. So, yeah. So, anyway, so they said, yeah, can you help us out? And we're like, okay, fine. So, what we're doing now is we are assembling pieces for a Grubbin costume so that we can look like one of these kind of goblin-y guys. And we're going to use this to sneak past a guard that's on the other side of this maze so that we can... so we can get to where we need to go. Oops, gotta break this. Hello, let's go. Slide down here, and over here, and under all these pumpkins. Alright, so now we're dressed like a Grubbin. Alright, we gotta come in here. This guard right here on the other side of this fence. This is who we have to sneak past. Now, once we do, we have to wait until we get to right about here to switch into the robot costume. If we switch too early, then the guy will see us, and we have to fight him. And we don't want that. All right, so now we are stuck here. I can't skip past this. We're going to confront Mextol for the second and final time. This fight with Mextol is much, much easier than the first one. He's only got one phase. Only 1,000 HP. We're a lot stronger now. So we're going to take this guy out in 3 turns if everything goes right. And then we're good. Oh, I think this is, like I said, this battle is not terribly eventful. I don't need to really talk about a whole lot that's going on here. Do you want to give us a final refresh and tally for what's going on with that Kusa Grande bid war?
Let me go ahead. We're going to give one last... hold on. What's that? Hold on. We got a producer. They're letting me know that we are in overtime. It is no longer just a cutoff point. At 1 hour and 10 minutes, we're giving 5 extra minutes for you to get your donations in. We're now going to be closing it out at 1 hour and 15 minutes, and it's exactly in time because we have a flurry of donos coming in. We got a $20 dono from Mr. Shasta that says, let's just get Sarth in the lead. Snake Vember, Sonic Mega with another $20 saying, I said sit. Dante Wolf with $25 saying, one more helping. We got Orcentic with $25 saying, no step on Sneck. We've got Bursic with $25 saying, think you're an escape master, JD? We'll see about that. And then finally, a $36 donation from the Anti-Pupper Alliance that says, cats are better anyway. And that puts this at even closer than what we had before. Our current lineup for the the Kuso Grande Gauntlet shows Sarth in first place at $271. We've got Shockwave at second place at $261. JD with $1 behind, sitting in third place at $260. It is so close. We've opened it up for just another 5 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes. This is a nail biter.
It sure is, and you can keep getting your money in here, and we would love to see that. All right, so this is Dorsilla, and she can give us a lot of really bad RNG, but she started out by being an absolute pal here and giving us this charge-up attack, which I'll explain in a second. But before we do that, let me explain the costumes that we're wearing. We're using the pumpkin, the pumpkin here, and that's Ren. The special attack is this All Hallows Eve, which does a bunch of damage. We got the Unicorn here, which has an incredibly special attack, and I will be sure to demonstrate that. And that is always a crowd pleaser for events like this, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then we've got the Vampire, which their crit style is to repeatedly press a button, and their super is something called There's a Bat in My Hair, which does damage to all enemies and heals all of your party members. Okay, this is what we did not want to see Dorsilla do, is to create these copies of herself. Okay, we need to figure out which one is the real one. That's not it, and that's fine, because we actually want to take one of these out, not both of them. Because if you take both of them out, she can bring both of them back, and it's just a waste of time. Fortunately, her copies take a bunch of damage, so, oh no! I was not paying attention to that. I'm going to run away. We are absolutely going to need Everett the Unicorn here. That was really, really unfortunate. Okay. Never mind, we're going to start over. But hey, this gives more time to have people donate towards that Kusagrande bid war. That's going to be cutting off in just a minute. Come on, get him in. Get him in. Get these donations in. And we got to get to 7,500 before I say time, which will be in the not too distant future. So, okay, now we know which the real one is. That kind of narrows that down. Thank you, Dorsilla. Which one am I targeting? Not the real one. Good. Okay.
You're only $53 away from that number that you have there, Vani.
Yeah. Let's get it. Okay. So, what Dorsilla is doing here with the... Oh, no! Oh, God. Okay. Okay, this is... Oh, Jesus. All right. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the special on the real Dorsilla. And for the heck of it, we are going to use... we're going to use the Unicorn special. And what the Unicorn does is heals with the power of gay. You see, this rainbow beam will hit your party member, and not only will it heal them to full, but also if they're dead, it will revive them. So, yes. Oh, no, I didn't stun her. Oh, no, that's right. I don't need to do it yet. Okay, good. So, that battle stamp that I got, the Rotten Egg, we need that specifically for this situation where Dorsilla is charging up the attack, and we hit her with it so that she doesn't use her special, you know, her ultimate attack and do just an absolute truckload of damage to all of our party members. Oh my god, we keep taking all this damage. Alright, well, we're going to use Lucy's special then. There's a Bat in My Hair, it's called. Here we go. And he's going to summon a bunch of bats, attack the enemies, and somehow that also heals all our party members too. I don't know why. It just does.
Vani, before we get into the final part of the game, can I give everyone a quick update in the results?
Yeah, go ahead. This battle's going to take a little bit.
All right. Wow. This was ridiculous. I am so extremely appreciative of everybody. I'm going to read off the donations before we tease into the final result here. We have a $21 donation from Dante Wolf that says, "Once more with feeling." We've also got a $10 donation from Psycho Volps that says, "I don't know who these people are, but this person probably deserves pain," to JD. Poor JD. And the final tally on everything shows... Fake drum roll, please. We have JD in first place at $291. JD's going to be one of the runners for the Kuso Grande Gauntlet. To JD's dismay, I am so sorry, my friend, but you will be a part of it. And second place, coming back from being at $10 for a majority of the bid war, it is Sarth. Sarth coming from $10 all the way to $271, taking second place. So that means we're going to have Shockwave, Oasis, and Rotom on comms with JD and Sarth taking part in the Kuso Grande Gauntlet from Brossentia. That is going to be awesome.
Very nice. Now, if someone wants to be a deer and maybe just drop like a 20 spot to get us up to that 7,500 like I've asked for, that would be grand.
We are very close, like you noted, right? We have $18 to hit 7,500. We did get a $25 donation from Cycrus that says, overtime, get JD up into the tournament. Sorry, pupper. And as Cycrus has noted, yep, JD is one of the participants. And again, thank you so much to everybody for helping get the Kuso Grande Gauntlet all lined up and ready to go, which is coming up next. And I know we can do it, Twitch chat. We are only $8 away to reaching $7,500. Let's make it happen.
Alrighty, so we're almost done with this battle here. We did a heal there, now we're super safe. All Hallows Eve to finish it off. Nope, one more. That's right, you can't finish with that. Yeah, okay. So Dorsil is down. Now we get to fight the real baddie. And this is going to require some extra battle stamp movement, which I will explain once I get into it. But we found out who the real mastermind of this whole thing is, and it is the big, fat Grim Reaper here, Big Bones. And this guy is incredibly rude, especially once he gets into his second phase. So, yeah, this can be real rough. So the battle stamps that I have put on Ren and Everett give them like a passive like regen ability that you'll see here will resolve here, 20 plus 28 there, plus I don't know what it was there because that was bad camera angle, but just know that Everett got some HP back, don't worry. And this will help to just make having them survive this battle a lot easier. Now, the battle stamp that I have put onto Lucy is one that raises her maximum HP because unfortunately the vampire costume reduces your max HP. So we use that, it's called the Flying Tombstone. We use the Flying Tombstone to counteract that HP loss so that she isn't incredibly squishy. Alright, so all of Big Bones' regular attacks hit all characters. They do have a primary target. We want that primary target to preferably be Ren or Everett, because they are the ones that can just get HP back on their own, whereas Lucy does not. So if Lucy's taking the brunt of the damage, that's just putting her into the danger zone, and we're not a fan of that. Now here comes his unblockable, which, okay. Time to use Lucy's heal. Because we cannot lose Everett. If it was bad losing Everett in the Dorsilla fight, it's even worse in the Big Bones fight. So we got to get there. Hey, but I'll go ahead and take a minute to send it on over to Joe. Joe, anything you want to update us on here?
Absolutely, we have reached $7,500 here at Fastest Furs Fall Fest 2023. $7,500. Thank you so much, everybody, for your continued generosity. That is so much help for Trans Lifeline, an amazing cause. Together, you have achieved some great things. We are only a little over halfway through the entire event. I know we can do even more. Let's look forward towards 8,000 and above, but enjoy this victory. $7,500. You are amazing.
Well done, chat. Much appreciated. Do I have a heal here? I don't. Oh. Okay, this is going to get pretty... Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Actually, this is fine-ish. Okay. Big Bones goes into his second phase as soon as he hits... I'm sorry, as soon as he gets under 1,200 HP. So we're going to go ahead and use that heal on Lucy now. So that way I can get it back sooner. I'm going to save this super for after the phase change. I also have a heal with Lucy on deck, which I will probably use, like, right away. The phase change is right here. Right here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. This should be fine. Ish. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, folks. Alright, super attack. Much needed damage. Much needed heal. Okay. And we got to just kind of gut this out. I will have Everett's super back, so that might be necessary pretty soon. I'm not gonna. I can't use it preemptively. I have to wait until a character dies, because I just can't afford to waste it like that. Where are we at? 294. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, this should be fine. I'm actually going to use this. I said I wasn't going to use it preemptively. I'm actually going to use it here on Lucy. And I think Lucy might have a heal here. No. Okay. That's actually why I wanted to use it on Lucy, so then they could use a heal afterward if necessary. Okay, Ren died. We're just going to have to deal with that. Oh, never mind. Next hit's going to kill. Okay. And... Yes, Big Bones on the first try. All right, dying cutscene here. Once it fades to black, that is time. Get ready. Get ready. Roar, I'm dying. I'm falling back into the earth from whence I came. And time.
GG, buddy.
Alrighty. So, that is Costume Quest. All right, so here's the ending here. They have confiscated the bus that they used to steal all the candy in the first place, and now they're giving it back to all the kids. You see Dorian there driving around, giving the kids a ride back home. I mean, just look at him. He is absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, so it's all good. We're going to drive them back to their neighborhood. And then this is where some of the funnier parts of the story happen. So back home, remember that in the very beginning, Mom wanted Ren and Reynold to go out and make friends, and they have done just that. Mom is thrilled. In fact, so much so that she has called Lucy and Everett's parents to get their permission to have the kids stay the night, and that permission has been granted. So now everybody's happy. And they're going to sit there and they're going to go through their candy and they're going to exchange it. But before they're able to do so, there's a responsibility that they have. And what they need to do is they need to make sure they pay the dad tax. As someone who is a father of two, who is actually kind of relatable to this guy, I kind of look like him a little bit, I can tell you the dad tax is a very real and a very serious thing. So everybody heed the dad tax. So what the kids are going to do is they're going to combine all of their candy, and they're going to kind of have like a draft where they will take turns picking what they want. Now, all the candy that they're referencing here are actually like collectibles that you can get throughout the game, but we completely ignore those in the speed run. So yeah, like Astronaut Flan is one of them. Now, okay, in this cutscene here, see that cat in the gutter there? That's Dorian. Dorian has decided to remain in cat form and watch over these children that helped him to defeat his evil sister. So shout outs to the Void Gremlin, who is taking care of the children. Oh, also a little funny exchange here at the end, where Lucy says, "I can't wait forever, babe." And Everett says, "Did you just call me babe?" And it just kind of ends on that little kind of love connection. And then here in the credits, one thing that I think is really cool, you're going to see pictures of all of the devs coming up here wearing the costumes that they wore, the Halloween costumes that they wore as children, which I'm sure was kind of an inspiration for the game. In fact, if you look at the bottom one there at Elliot, that is probably the inspiration for that robot costume. So,
Oh,
so yeah.
that's
So anyway,
awesome.
yeah, very, very cool. So yes, so there we go. That is Costume Quest. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. If you enjoyed what I was doing here, if you enjoyed my commentary, a combination of those things, please do give me a follow on my channel. I am going to be getting back into streaming very soon, and I've got a whole bunch of marathons that I'm doing coming up, so would love to have you support me for that. Big shout outs to the Costume Quest community. We saw some here in chat. We saw Penance Arcana, Harsh ESC, Bob Loves Cheese, Trillion. There's plenty more that all work on the game that are super awesome. And yes, we like. Oh, speaking of dogs, look at Truman there, dressed like a Moogle. Shout outs to Moogles. And also shout outs to the Fastest Furs. Like I said, I have done. Oh God, that's right. Hold on a second. Do we have time, real quick, for me to summon my dog and have her make an appearance? I know we're behind.
Go for it.
Okay, hold on. Lena. Lena. Where is she? Lena, come here. Come on, Lena. Come on. Lena, come here.
I mean, hey, it's gotta. That's what puppers do, right? Is everyone? You can hear Vonnie calling for the dog, and the dog is just refusing to come and join us.
She's downstairs and she's not coming up. But you know what? Instead, you're gonna get the bouncy boy. This is one of my other dogs. This is Odin. He's our sweet baby boy. Look at him face. He's very adorable, and we do love him. He's been making more and more appearances on my stream, and he's just a very happy dog, and we love him. So yeah, so you get Odin instead. This will be this is Lena's understudy. So yeah, hi buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vonnie, Odin, Lena, the entire family. Thank you so much, Vonnie, for that.